it's hard to ignore cash, where the money's going, right? Betting. For the first time since she entered the race, the money seems to be on or certainly moving towards Kamala Harris. According to several online prediction markets, which are sort of like a combination between a gambling website and the stock market. Let's follow the money. Today, the online prediction market PredictIt has Harris as the favorite to win the election. The price of a Harris bet via the platform is at around 54 cents, while for Trump costs about 49 cents. RFK Jr., a bet on him, get that cheap, 2 cents. But it's not just the current, quote, price of the candidate. Take a look at the direction in which they come regarding the prices. Less than 2 weeks ago, when Biden dropped out, a bet on Kamala Harris cost 27 cents to Trump's 64. But on Wednesday, she became the safer bet. That's a huge turnaround. Just like in the Super Bowl, where you can pretty much bet on anything, from which player scores first, total numbers, whatever, literally to the results of the coin toss, you can bet on all sorts of things with regard to who will take the White House. Another site, electionbetting.com, for example, has percentages on potential vice presidential candidates. For Harris, the overwhelming favorite there is Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro at 68.7, though he's been trending down. Way behind Shapiro, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, and rounding out the favorites, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly. But how much can we rely on this, and how exactly does it work? Let's ask Maxim Lott, the creator of electionbettingodds.com. Thank you very much for coming on the program. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So your site still has Donald Trump holding on to a very narrow lead in the betting. But talk to us about how this works. Is it simply a matter of how many people are taking which bet?
Yeah, so believe it or not, more than $500 million has been bet on this cycle. From all over the world, in the UK, crypto bettors, wow. Americans on PredictIt, which were where those odds you showed were from. And when you combine all these, as we did on electionbettingodds.com, Trump is up just slightly. 51% chance of winning. Kamala Harris has 46%.
And that has been moving, though, right? I mean, a couple of weeks ago, yeah, Trump was winning in a blowout?
Right after the assassination attempt, he had 70% chance of winning. So that's a huge move.
And I was surprised to see in the vice president that that Shapiro is at 68.7%.
Yeah, they're pretty confident. I don't know if they may be looking at things like he canceled his weekend fundraisers, and Harris is giving a speech in Philadelphia to announce this. So they're looking at the tea leaves like those.
Is there such thing as insider trading in what you guys do? Meaning like people who are like involved in the campaign, like you're in Andy Beshear's office, right? You know there's no way he's going to take, or whatever. Do you worry about that kind of stuff?
It's possible. There was a scandal in England where people were doing this. So yeah, political people on the campaign could do this, but that's good for us as news consumers because we see their, the movements in the betting odds based on what insiders are doing, if that's the case.
When you say insiders, you mean the betting people or the people who are just making the decisions?
Yeah, even people on the campaign. Maybe you see an internal poll. Maybe you did the Rasmussen poll and you know in advance what it's going to be. If those people are betting, that'll really make the odds accurate. And in general...
But they won't admit that they're betting.
Right.
I mean, as far as the betting is concerned, it's just a bet.
Right. So we won't know for sure whether there was inside information or not, unless there's a scandal like there was in the UK.
Yeah.
But in general, the odds are very accurate. I mean, it's kind of cool. You have stock markets really efficiently allocate resources. And this is kind of applying markets to information, like figuring out what's going to happen. And we've tracked hundreds of races over 10 years, and it's really accurate. When the odds say 70 to 80% chance, the person actually wins like 76% of the time.
How dependent is it on polling?
They do rely on polls a lot. So if you see a new poll coming out showing Harris up 5, it'll move a little bit. It'll move 0.5%, something like that.
But it won't move the same amount as the poll.
Right, certainly not. And you can see they're factoring all these things. Like right now, the polling shows Trump leading in Pennsylvania. But because the bettors think Harris is going to pick Shapiro, they have Pennsylvania colored blue.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, on electionbettingodds.com, we have the whole map and all the states are colored.
And you aggregate.
Yep, from all these different betting sites.
Super interesting. All right, Maxim Lott. Thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thanks
for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.